Where are you going in 2026? If you haven't planned your travel for the year, don't worry, we have plenty of tips for you. Joining me now is Richmond from the tech travel company Amadeus. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to talk about the travel trends for 2026.
Yes, this is my favorite topic of all, is just travel. And I know your company put out a survey in December, and you are here to share those trends with us.
Yeah. So number one, which is probably of interest to many people in this area, is what we're calling the paw print economy.
Okay.
And that's the fact that travel for pets is becoming more and more important for all of us. We did a survey and found that 56% of the 20,000 people globally we surveyed now owned a pet, and half of them were first-time pet owners.
Oh.
And if you look just last year in the US and UK, 30% of all people who traveled with a pet, it was their first time they had done so.
Wow, very interesting. So I love, first of all, the names that you have for your trends are so unique. Again, this is called the paw print economy.
That's
I
right.
love that. Very, very
That's
cool.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's broader than, it touches lodging, and it touches technology that we use to stay in touch with our pets if they're at home and we're traveling. So it's a very exciting area for the industry. And I think there are more and more options now for travelers to take their pets with them. There are some airlines coming out.
Yeah.
Canine, Bark Air, Retrieve Air,
wow,
that will exist purely to help get your pet from one location to another rather than putting them on traditional airline.
That's phenomenal. Pet lovers are going to love to hear this. All right, what's your second travel trend?
So this is about point-to-point travel. And this is really interesting for those of us who've struggled with how we get from where we are to where we want to be as quickly and with as less stress as possible, right? We've all had connection challenges and other pain points. More carriers are now coming out to offer different point-to-point connections, and existing carriers are using new aircraft to reduce the amount of time it takes from where you are to where you're going.
Yeah.
So for example, Airbus has got a new extra long-range plane that adds 700 miles of capability to its distance.
Wow. I mean, people who travel a lot love to hear this. I know I just booked a direct flight to Seoul, which I don't think years ago, I don't know, you probably had to stop somewhere, and it's just easier. It's just easier to do now.
It is. If you go to the airport today, you see lots of new airline names, and many of those are serving specific destinations on a direct route. Or you fly New York to Sydney now on a 4-hour shorter flight on a direct flight.
Yeah, plus we're very lucky here in the DMV with Dulles International.
Exactly.
All right, pop culting, what does that mean?
Well, 2 years ago when I was here, we talked about music tourism with Beyonce and Taylor Swift and Coldplay driving incredible increases in international traffic based on their concerts. What we're seeing in 2026 are viral moments, Labubu's, K-pop Demon Hunters, Bridgerton. These are driving international travel to experience these viral moments.
Yeah.
And so if you look at Seoul, Korea, not only does the Seoul Tourism Organization have a whole bunch of destination activities around K-pop Demon Hunters, but we've seen an increase in international flights of 30% to Seoul.
Oh, wow. I'm one of those people. Yeah.
Probably driven by the K-pop Demon Hunter fad. But it's not just that. It's The Last of Us is driving people to see its filming location in Alberta, Canada. The White Lotus is driven a 54% increase in destinations to Sicily and a 12% increase to Koh Samui, Thailand. Again, pop culture driving our desire for new experiences through travel.
That's really, really cool. The results of your study proved to be really, really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for all you do with your company to help travel easier for people. We really appreciate it. Yeah, of course.